All right. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to set up Claude Code the right way. I'm going to take the first couple of minutes to explain the setup process and what the existing problem is and what the fix is, right? I've probably audited close to 30 GTM engineers like Claude Code setup, right? And it's just not set up the right way. This is going to be a very quick demo that is going to level you up into the top 1% of GTM engineers that are actually using Claude Code to fulfill on running cold email campaigns, right? This is literally going to 10x your system's efficiency. So the existing problem right now is most people install Claude Code and just make it useless on day one because they keep reloading the same amount of context and use it literally like a black box, right? The more you teach it, the more context you provide and more the setup is done the right way, the better it is, right? So the fix, it's pretty simple. The fix is we're going to install Claude Code. We're going to do the folder system that every GTM engineer should start with the skills, the commands, the settings, the MCP connections, and then the temp files like the scratchpad, like the cache, something that is always regeneratable. It's never committed to like your GitHub repo or something like that. And what is like the client folder? How are you going to set that up? How are you going to separate it, etc.? What are some of the directives or SOPs that you're going to have? What is like the execution, like some of the Python scripts, something that determines the doing part, right? The directive is like your what to do, and the execution is like your doing part, right? And then the skill is just like your reusable SOP directory, right? You may ask, what's the difference between a directive and a skill? Right? Directive is from like a whole meta perspective, right? Like think of a directive that calls on multiple skills. The skill is like the actual like thing that executes a certain part, because the shorter the skill is, the more efficient it is, because as shorter the skill is, it's going to consume less context, but still going to produce laser sharp output every single time, right? Now, what is this env file? Env file is your environment variables that you're setting, essentially the real secrets, like your OpenAI API key, like your HubSpot API key, like your, Prospio API key, Ocean API key. All of that is going to be saved in .env. And then there's going to be a singular file. So I'm going to be dropping this Claude template. Of course, you guys are all going to get access to this into a fresh project, and you're just going to rename it Claude Code. And then it is going to start scaffolding the folder structure so that it builds every folder that I've listed over here. So everything will be properly set up right then and there, right? Now, without further ado, I'm just going to jump straight into Claude Code, and I'm going to show you exactly how this part is done. Before you install Claude Code and have like the full system set up in your terminal and everything, the first step is actually to get VS Code, because VS Code is the open source editor that we are going to use for developing certain skills, etc. We're going to be doing everything inside VS Code. So step one is go get VS Code. And in the next part of the video, I'm going to show you inside VS Code how you can add a certain extension for Claude. If you have your VS Code set up, you're going to look at a screen like this, right? And the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go click this thing on the left called extensions, or you can press Control Shift and X if you have like a Windows, or if you have like a Mac, I think it's Command Shift and X. Once you click that, all you literally have to do is type Claude. Just type Claude and you will see this one, the first one that has 17.1 million downloads. You're going to click this and you're going to be redirected to a page like this. And you just have to press install. Of course, I already have it installed, so I'm not going to uninstall and then reinstall it just to show you. But in this case, it's just going to be pressing that install button. And then once all of that is done, I'm going to show you. You see this little bubble at the top? Once you click that, you're going to have a Claude Code screen that pops up like this. And you can just have a conversation with it and be like, hey, after you send the first message, you will have to authenticate your account, right? So what you're going to be doing is you'll be redirected to a page and you'll just have to sign in with your Claude credentials, the email that you used to sign out. And once you click Once you click approve, everything is going to be sorted. Anyway, in the next part of the video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to build the scaffolding folder architecture so that your system becomes 10x efficient overnight, rather instantly. Wonderful. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how this looks like inside Claude Code. As you can see on my screen, you see this graph TD thing. So you have your root, project root folder, which is your GTM workstation, with Claude.md, which is the operating manual, which is read first every single session, right? And then you have the thinking part, what to do. This is where your directives come into play, right? Directives are like the outcomes that you expect from a certain task. Each directive may call upon multiple skills, and a skill is something that achieves one singular thing, right? The shorter the skill, the better it is, because you don't want it loading more and more context every single time, right? Chain a bunch of skills together. That's even better, right? And then the next thing is the .claude folder, the .tmp, and like the MCP connections, and like here's the execution folder, which is literally doing the thing. And then you have your env files, the credentials, the git ignore, and then you have your clients file, right? Now, from the root, you have thinking, doing, the tools, the secrets, and then the data. That's it. It's amazing, isn't it? And then everything gets framed everywhere. So directives is something that orchestrates and combines every single thing. It calls the execution folder that does the thing. Then you have all of these definitions into it. So here's how it reads: what to do, the doing, the tools, the secret, and the data, right? It's a very good system. And the reason why I want every GTM engineer to do this is purely because of how efficient the system starts running after this point, because you're essentially telling it, this is how you need to act every single time, so your output quality increases significantly while your token expenditure decreases significantly. Isn't that a win-win? I will see you on the next video.